Welcome to Yankee Stadium.
How's it going, everybody? The Yankees are rarely sellers at the trade deadline. In 2016, they traded Aroldis Chapman to the Cubs for Gleyber Torres, Billy McKinney, Rashad Crawford, and Adam Warren. They also traded Andrew Miller for Clint Frazier, Justice Sheffield, Ben Heller, and J.P. Feyereisen. And they traded Carlos Beltran for Dylan Tate, Nick Green, and Eric Swanson. At the time of this video, they are 9.5 games out. And before we get started, and before you rip me in the comments, I want to make it clear, I'm not advocating or suggesting in any way that the Yankees should or will become sellers at the trade deadline. But if they do decide to move some guys for prospects in an effort to retool, here's some guys who could be available. Let's start with Harrison Bader. He could have some solid value to a contending team. He's looked great in limited duty this season and was a huge postseason performer for the Yankees in 2022, and he's generationally good on defense. However, he's constantly been injured for the Yankees. He was even injured when they traded for him, and most Yankees fans doubt the Yankees will re-sign him. Luis Severino is a free agent after the season, and despite 2 clunkers in a row at the time of this video, every team needs pitching, and when a pitcher has the type of stuff that Luis Severino has, there's definitely going to be some trade interest. Also, he hasn't seemed that happy with the Yankees and has been one of the more outspoken players about the way they handle their injury situations, especially him. Josh Donaldson is an elite defensive third baseman and has shown good power since coming back. He's a free agent after the season, and the Yankees have some good infielders coming up that could take over by mid-season at the trade deadline. Kairon Falefa has been a pretty useful utility player this season. He's even turned into a pretty reliable outfielder. He doesn't hit for any power, but he's been hitting the ball harder this year, and not a lot of players can fill in at shortstop, center field, or even catcher if necessary. He even threw a scoreless inning this season. Wandy Peralta has been a very effective relief pitcher for the Yankees the past couple of years. If the Yankees fall far enough back, I could envision a scenario where they unload Wandy if they don't think they're going to make the postseason. He'll be a free agent after the year is over, so if the Yankees want him back, they could just re-sign him. He's also going to be 32 next season, so it might be better just to get younger in the bullpen. In general, teams like to trade for players that have multiple years of control whenever possible. Gleyber Torres has another year of control after this and could yield a solid return. He's cut his strikeout rate way down, and he's still entering his prime, theoretically. He's a legitimate power threat too, so I could see a few teams being interested, even if they're not in contention this season. Kyle Higashioka also has another year of control, and the Yankees have a couple of catchers that are on the precipice of taking over the backup job or maybe even the starting role, Ben Rortvedt and Austin Wells. Either one of these guys could maybe step in at mid-season. And Jose Trevino, the Yankee starter, hasn't done anything offensively. And by the way, he's 30 years old and has a couple of years of arbitration eligibility remaining as well. There could be a team out there that wants the defensive upgrade at catcher and would want to trade for Jose Trevino. Domingo Herman has been solid and also has another year of control before he becomes a free agent. As I said earlier, every team wants pitching if they're a contender, and the last few times out, he's been really, really sharp. That being said, I think the Yankees could get something for him if they decided to move him, but he's also been their second most reliable pitcher behind Garrett Cole. DJ LeMahieu has 3 years remaining and a limited no-trade clause. Again, the value here would be defense. Offensively, he's fallen way off, but you're not going to get very much for him, and he does have a limited no-trade clause, so he would get to choose where he gets to go. And last but not least, if you want a postseason power threat, which a lot of teams do, Giancarlo Stanton has 4 years remaining plus a full no-trade clause, which he would have to waive in order to be moved. He'd likely only consider a trade to the Los Angeles Dodgers, but I think they're holding out for Shohei Ohtani. That being said, if the Yankees fall out of it, maybe he would consider it. Now again, I'm not saying that the Yankees will become sellers or that they should become sellers, so hold off on ripping me in the comments, would you? I'm not trying to trade all your favorite players, but I'm just saying if they do decide to sell, these are some of the guys that might have a little bit of trade value.